Good day everyone, I am Mel Anario, your first discussant for today's video for this lesson, the Persian literature. So, so we have a brief background of the country first. The Persian Empire is the name given to a series of dynasties centered in modern-day Iran. Cyrus the Great, he founded the first Persian Empire. The first Persian Empire was shaped by a different religion, Zoroastrianism. Prophet Zoroaster. So, Prophet Zoroaster is a founder of the Zoroastrianism. So, the ancient Persians of the Achaemenid Empire created art in many forms. So, the Persian Empire refers to a series of dynasties originating in modern-day Iran. So, beginning with the Achaemenid Empire provided by Cyrus the Great. So this empire was deeply influenced by Zoroastrianism, a religion based on the teachings of Prophet Zoroaster. So like what I said earlier. So the ancient Persian were also renowned for their artistic achievements, creating works in each architecture, sculpture, and decorative arts. So that is the brief background of the country. So part of Persian literature dated to c. 522 before Christ era with the creation of the Behistun inscription of Darius. So it's the oldest literature in the world. So I forgot to input the L and D. So Persian literature began around 522 BCE or before creation of the Behistun inscription by King, a triangular inscription that recorded his achievements. So it is considered one of the oldest literary traditions in the world, making the foundation of Persian historical and cultural expression. Next is the characteristics of Persian literature. So, body of writings in New Persian, also called Modern Persian, the form of the Persian language written since the 19th century, comprises oral compositions and written texts in the Persian language. So, poetry was regarded as the highest form of artistic expression. So, Persian literature is characterized by its use of New Persian. So the form of the language in use since the 19th century. So it includes both oral compositions and written text. So reflecting the rich cultural heritage of the Persian speaking. So poetry holds a central place in Persian revered as the highest form of artistic expressions. So that's all my pick. Thank you for your attention.
Good day everyone, my name is Mary Grace Eribal and today I am going to discuss the Persian prose and poetry. So Persian prose and poetry represent two essential forms of expression in the rich literary tradition of the Persian-speaking world. They encompass a variety of genres, themes, and stylistic techniques. So, Persian prose refers to the written or spoken language of Persian. It expressed in a non-poetic and straightforward manner. So, unlike poetry, which has a specific methods and rhyme patterns, prose is more focused on communication and narrative. So, it is also includes a wide range of genres such as novel, short stories, essay, speeches, and historical accounts. So, Persian prose has evolved over the centuries, influenced by social, political, and intellectual movements in Persian-speaking world. So, the development of Persian prose now can be categorized into distinct historical period. So, first, let's have the early Persian prose. On this period coincides with the Islamic Golden Age, a time of intellectual flourishing in the Muslim world. So Persian prose began to develop as a tool on transmitting knowledge in fields like science, philosophy, and religion. So we have here the notable works of this period. First, let's have the Kalila and Dimna. So, a collection of animal fables translated into Persian. So, it is originally from Sanskrit. So, these fables convey a moral lessons. So, next we have Avicenna or Ibn Sina. So, a philosopher, physician, and polymath who wrote extensively in Persian on topics ranging from medicine and metaphysics. So, next period will be the medieval period prose. So, this period saw the rise of Persian dynasties such as the Seljuks and Ikhanids. So, it fosters a cultural Renaissance. So Persian prose became more refined and was used to convey moral and philosophical teaching. So the notable works of this period are Shanim by Ferdowsi. So an epic historical and mythological blending prose and poetry. It tells the story of Persian kings and heroes. Next, we have the Gulistan or the Rose of Garden. So, it is by wrote by Saadi. So, a collection of stories, poems, and moral lessons that are reflection on the complexity of human nature. So, the third period will be the Safavid and Mughal era. So, the Safavid Empire in Persia and the Mughal Empire in India were instrumental in promoting Persian as a literary and cultural heritage, language rather, especially in the fields of art and literature. So, the notable works of these periods are Bustan or the Orchard by Saadi. So it is a moralistic work focusing on ethics, virtue, and human interactions. Next we have Noor al-Din by Hami or Jami, a mystical and philosophical work combining Sufi mysticism and intellectual thoughts. And the fourth period will be the modern Persian prose. So, in the 19th century, Persian literature began to modernize, with new themes emerging in response to political changes and the modernization of Iranian state. So, the notable works of these periods are The Blind Owl or The Buff Ikor by Sadiq Hidayat, a modernist novel dealing with existential themes, loneliness, and the absurdity of life. Next, we have The Patient Stone or the Sang-i Sabor by Ibrahim Gulistan. It is a novel focusing on societal and political issues in Iran. So, the last period is contemporary Persian prose. So, Persian prose continues to evolve in the contemporary era, with authors tackling a range of issues such as gender, politics, and cultural identity. So, the notable works of these periods are Sharnus Parsipur, a prominent female Iranian writer known for her novel titled Woman Without Men. So, this novel explores themes of gender and societal constraints. Next, we have Muhsin Hamid. Although based in Pakistan, no, Hamid's works such as the Reluctant Fundamentalist draw from the broader Persian literary tradition and have achieved international acclaim. So now let's proceed to the Persian poetry. So Persian poetry, on the other hand, it is one of the world's richest poetic traditions, known for its lyrical beauty, mysticism, and philosophical depth. So throughout Persian literary history, poets have explored themes such as love, spirituality, and nature of existences, and also the divine. So we have here the prominent Persian poets. So first, let's have Omar Khayyam. So Omar Khayyam was a polymath known primarily for his poets, especially his rubaiyat or the quatrains. So these poems explores themes of life, fleeting nature. So uh, explores themes of life fleeting nature, the mystery of existences, love, and the pursuit of knowledge. Next, we have Hafiz. So, Hafiz poetry is celebrated for its spiritual depth and lyrical beauty. His works found in the Divan-i Hafiz, a highly revered in Persian-speaking countries. He often wrote about the themes of divine love, mystical union, and the human quest of meaning. Next, we have Hami or Jami. So, Jami was a leading poet and mystic of Tiramid Renaissance. His Half-Awrang and Euphus and Zuleika blend Sufi mysticism with literary artistry, exploring complex philosophical and spiritual themes. Next, we have Saadi. So, Saadi is one of the most influential Persian poets, known for his moralistic poetry. His works Gulistan or the Rose Garden and Bustan or the Orchard contain both prose and poetry. It offers wisdom on human nature, morality, and justice. In generalization, the combination of Persian prose and poetry has shaped a literary traditions that reflect the intellectual, cultural, and spiritual journey of the Persian-speaking peoples. So both prose and poetry have been vehicle for exploring deep philosophical questions, ethics, the nature of love, the divine, and the human existences. So while early works like Kalila and Dimna it focused on moral teachings. So also now the work like Hafiz and Saadis like Gulistan became more deeply introspective, exploring the essence of life and spirituality. So, in conclusion, Persian prose and poetry are important parts of Iran's rich literary traditions. It offers deep insights into culture, philosophy, and history. Persian poetry, with its beautiful language and deep meanings, explores universal themes like love, spirituality, and human wisdom. So writers like Rumi and Hafiz have influenced people around the world. It influenced the people around the world via lessons, help us understand the social and political issues of the past. So today, both forms can be used to connect cultures, promote peace, and explore emotion and also philosophical ideas. So they remain relevant in modern education, therapy, and also in political thoughts, showing how timeless and impactful Persian literature is. So, that would be all. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Good day, everyone. I am April Joy Espana, and the topic that was assigned to me is the suggested pieces of the Persian literature, which is the Rumi's epic and poems, as well as the Ferdowsi's writing. So now, let's tackle about the Rumi's poetry. Okay, so Rumi, born in 1207 in Balkh, now Afghanistan, and died in 1273 in Konya, also renowned now as Turkey, was a renowned Sufi mystic and poet. He is celebrated for his lyrical poetry and his didactic epic, the Masnavi Manavi, or the which is known as the spiritual couplets, which significantly influenced mystical thought and literature across the Muslim world. So his poetry, written primarily in Persian with some Arabic, Turkish, and Greek, has been claimed by both Persian and Turkish literary tradition due to his profound impact in these regions. So Rumi's work also holds substantial influence in the Indian subcontinent and has gained global popularity, especially in Western Europe and the United States by the late 20th century. So, a pivotal moment in Rumi's life was his encounter with Shams al-Din of Tabriz in 1244, which deeply inspired his poetry. This relationship, marked by love, longing, and loss, transformed Rumi into a prolific poet, leading to the creation of the Divan-i-Shams, or what we call the collected poetry of Shams. His poetry often reflects his spiritual journey and experiences of divine love, frequently composed in states of ecstasy and accompanied by music and dance. By the late 20th century, his poetry had gained global popularity, particularly in Western Europe and the United States, reflecting its universal appeal and enduring legacy. So Rumi's epic and poem central themes are spirituality and mysticism, nature of love, both divine and human, and the last is unity, highlighting the interconnectedness of all beings and the universe. So, in conclusion, Rumi's poetry is characterized by deep understanding of the human condition, which recognizes the grief of loss as well as the ecstatic joy of love. Rumi's best known works are the Masnavi, the Divan of Shams Tabrizi, and the prose works of the Discourses, Letters, and Seven Sermons. The Masnavi's title refers to the form of the work. A Masnavi, or known as Math, Mathnabi in Arabic, is a Persian form of poetry comprised rhyming couplets of indefinite length. Rumi's Masnavi is a sixth-volume poetic work considered not only his masterpiece but a masterpiece of world literature, exploring people's relationship to God as well as to themselves, each other, and the natural world. So that's the end of the Rumi's epic and poem central themes, and now let's proceed to the next suggested piece of Persian literature, which is the Ferdowsi's writings. Okay, so Ferdowsi is widely regarded as the preserver of the Persian language and of pre-Islamic Iranian cultural identity. Of all the peoples conquered by the Arabs in the 7th century, the Persians are the only ones who can boast a major literature and the indigenous language that they were using before the conquest. Okay, so when asked recently why most Egyptians, the highest great pre-Islamic civilization, speak Arabic rather than Coptic, a leading Egyptian historian replied, "Because we had no Ferdowsi." Okay, so the historical context of Ferdowsi is his real name is Hakim Abul Qasim Ferdowsi, 940 to 1025, was born in the family of wealthy landowners, the class known as Degan in Tus in northeast Iran province of Khorasan, or today's Razavi Khorasan state, and is renowned for his epic work, the Shahnameh, or Book of Kings. This is his famous work, which he completed in 1010. His life coincided with a period intense interest in Persian traditions. After the collapse of the Sasanian Empire, Iran offered the Arab conquerors an ancient model of kingship that they could adopt to legitimate and solidify their dominance over peoples of diverse cultural and religious backgrounds. So Ferdowsi's work is celebrated for its pure Persian language with minimal Arabic influence, and it has played a crucial role in preserving Persian culture and identity, influencing Persian literature and art for centuries. So he is considered among the most important poets writing under the Samanid dynasty in 819 to 999 CE and succeeding Ghaznavid dynasty in 977 to 1186 CE. So in conclusions, his belief in the value of the work was justified in that it has not only been read and admired now for centuries, but accomplished one of Ferdowsi's primary goals, the preservation of Persian history, lore, and language. There are a number of lines in the Shamani which make clear how resentful the author was toward those who had tried to destroy his culture. The Shamani was his answer to any future attempts to do the same. So even though the epic fallen out, still the work remains popular throughout the world. So and that ends my task, the topic that was assigned to me, the suggested pieces of Persian literature, including the Ferdowsi's writing and as well as Rumi's epic and poems. That's it. Thank you.